Vols are back.
Can't kill it. Can't kill it.
Yeah. They waiting outside. They flooding the gates, I'm pulling the wrist like no I ain't got it. Stormy and Scott. In Houston like when he got my brothers with me, we lighting the city on fire. Protect my Achilles cause they tryna kill me, but I never been so alive. Yeah. Whiplash, whiplash, we get, whiplash, we get so loud. Whiplash, 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 all night. We lit, we get, whiplash, all night, all night, all night.
Drip her out in Bulgari, and she know she bad. I'm like Clyde, she like Bunny. I came from the bottom, please don't ask me what it took. I got demons in my past, but my angels keep on shook. Man down, I can't hear a sound. Walk out on your block, I hear silence in the slide. Man down, me and Ryder raise a toast. Tryna shadow bend my boy, but you can't kill a ghost.
Okay, real quick, unrelated, but excuse me, very unlikely, but to the admin of the Volcore Discord server, how in the hell are you going to make a media chat specifically meant for self-promoting, and then when people post self-promotion links, it automatically gets deleted? Sir, what are you doing? Might need to get that fixed immediately, just like how Tennessee has fixed their orange as compared to Texas. I don't know if you know that, but look at that beautiful orange color compared to the poop.
That ain't orange. That's brown.
I would have to say so myself. That is absolutely for sure. How do I get this off of here? Okay, there we go. Oi, fellow comrades. It is Squidtard here along my boy Lucas Sharp, and jumping right on in here, look who it is. Juilo is also here. And welcome to another great episode of the Vol Star Podcast, episode 46 of the show. We've been going at this for a very, very, very long time. Almost a year now. In fact, Lucas told me earlier today that we are going to hit episode 50 on the day that we actually started this show last year. We started it. What day was it, Lucas? Do you know?
July 29th.
Well, how about that? July 29th, the official 1 year anniversary of the Vol Star Podcast. On episode 50, we'll be changing the intro for this show. So if you guys have any suggestions on what song I should use, obviously it can't be copyrighted. Otherwise, YouTube will send me to the Shadow Realm. But if you guys have any other suggestions, on what you want me to do, whether or not you want me to keep the same song or change it to something else, let me know down in the live chat or anywhere else you want to let me know. What's going on, Andrew the Textbook? Glad you can make it. Of course, we got a lot planned for tonight's show, considering the fact that, last week's show was just a complete coverage of baseball. We didn't do any football, basketball, or anything else. We didn't do any talk on that. And, of course, we've got some great big college football news, specifically today. All of the teams that are part of expansion and conferences have officially transferred to their respective conferences, such as the case for Texas and Oklahoma, who are now officially part of the SEC. That's right. Get used to that. You're gonna see that a lot. And I've already seen several cases of Texas fans and Oklahoma fans being unable to handle the level of trash talk that SEC fans bring to the table. Bad news. That's not going away. In fact, it's probably going to get a whole lot worse now that SEC fans know that it pisses you off. So good job. Big thumbs up. Have fun. Okay, well, of course, some other conference expansions, Cal, SMU, and whoever else.
Stanford.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. They're to the ACC. Enjoy that conference. The All-Coast Conference, apparently now.
The pathetic Coast Conference.
Did you see? So they put out a tweet welcoming, of course, Stanford and Cal and all them. And one Stanford fan said, "Why are you welcoming us? Ain't you suing us?"
Mm-hmm.
Because if I remember, I think they're in a lawsuit or something like that
Right.
already with their conference because they were, or I think
Mhm.
Stanford's suing them or they're suing Stanford because apparently they gave a heads up to SMU or something.
Right. And of course, we know all the other expansions in the Big Ten and everywhere else. And of course, poor old Oregon State and Washington State are basically in the shadow realm. They're
Um,
stuck.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they're
it,
so for football, they're still stuck in the Pac-2, I guess. But apparently, in almost all other sports, they joined the West Coast Conference.
it would have made more sense to just make Washington State and Oregon State independents.
At this point, yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. Notre Dame gets away with it. Why can't they? I don't know. It's all got to do with contracts and crap.
Yeah.
I kind of
Well,
feel real bad
well,
for
the
them.
reason
That's
why a
all there
lot
is
of
to
teams
it.
don't want to be independent is because, yeah, you do get to keep your money, but a lot of teams don't have the fan base to make enough money off of it. So, like, the
True,
reason
true.
why Notre Dame, of course, wants to keep is because they have that contract with NBC, which is why I said they're never going to join a conference unless the NCAA or like one of whoever's at the top of college football is going to force them into a conference because they have no incentive to. They make enough money. They get the, like I just said, the big bucks from NBC, and they can turn around and use that money how they want. And they
But
don't
yeah,
have to pay any conference fees or anything.
but the thing is though with Notre Dame, they make all this money, but yet they still get their stadium taken over.
Right.
That's
R-
why, like,
RIP the Longhorn Network, by the way. I thought that was
Yeah.
very important to
Oh,
mention out of the blue.
also
I
RIP to
think
the Pac-12 network.
Oh
it's
yeah.
what is it? I think it's still an app. I think technically, so you can
Yeah.
download the
For
app.
long. Yeah. There's nothing on there. Everything. It's just ESPN Lite.
But yeah,
But yeah.
RIP to the Pac-12 network and RIP to the Longhorn network.
That's right. All right. So, of course, a couple of things before we get into the main topics for today's show. I mention this every single show, and I will not stop here. We are not official. We are not affiliated with the University of Tennessee. We are just big time Tennessee Vol fans over here. So, whether or not you're a volunteer fan or you're a fan of any other team, including Texas and Oklahoma, welcome to the show. We're glad to have all of you guys over here. Of course, thank you to all of our wonderful viewers. And I got to double check this. Yes. This is the first time, the first live stream here on Squidtard Sports that is officially monetized, which means that if you feel like you want to donate a super chat donation, there is now a button to do so to show your support for Squidtard Sports. You can send a super sticker or a super chat for any donation you feel free to drop. Of course, if you don't want to send a super chat, there is also I'm pretty sure there should be yes, there is a Patreon link in the chat below or in the description, along with the PayPal. So if you feel like joining any of those or, supporting the channel in any other way, do that. So, yeah. And the college football iceberg video series that I've made is really popping off. So I want to thank all of you guys for all the support you've given to that series.
Yeah.
I've made 3 parts on that now, and it really is popping off. So I appreciate all of you guys for watching that.
Yeah, those college football iceberg videos, they're absolutely top tier.
Thank you. Thank you.
I absolutely love it when like college football YouTubers actually like make like other content other than like prediction videos or other stuff like this, to like set themselves aside from all the other college football YouTubers.
Right, but you can't be a college football channel without having at least some college football predictions, which now that it's July, it's about that time for me to start on my predictions. And I'm not going to do like some other college football YouTubers do and be like, here's a prediction for the Kennesaw State Golden Owls. They're going to go 15-0. And no, I'm not going to do all that. But I will, of course, give my predictions on all the SEC teams and whoever else anybody else wants me to predict. And, of course, if there are any suggestions below, feel free to drop them. Okay, well,
Also, I just wanted to say one thing in your college football iceberg video that I noticed was wrong was you meant in one, I think it was like part 3, you mentioned like Army was still an independent. The thing is though, that this season they're not going to be an independent anymore.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I thought you didn't know it because you
No,
mentioned
I was
Army.
I was talking about at the time because I said the same thing about Georgia Southern, and it was the same. It was or not no not Georgia Southern, but another team that they were an independent at that time, but then they moved to a conference. BYU.
Oh yeah, because Army's going to be in the American this year.
Yeah, yeah. I know, and yeah. That sounds about right. Okay, yeah. I'm glad you told me that. There have been quite a few people who have been nitpicky on some of the stuff that I've missed. And some of it has been actually wrong. Like, of course, I'm not perfect. I don't know every single detail. And sometimes the script is wrong. I say something I'm not supposed to, and it ends up making me look stupid and big dumb. Yeah, I've gotten some of that happening to me. So of course I'm enough of a man to admit when I'm wrong. So, in that case, I appreciate all of the support and feedback you guys have given for that iceberg video. And if you haven't already, go check it out. I'm already working on the script for part 4, where things are bound to get very, very interesting. All right, with all that out of the way, let's roll into some of the topics. First off, what's going on, Ian the Hyper? Good to see you in the live chat. All right. Let's see. So let's start out with some football talk. Of course, we mentioned all the conference expansion, but as Tennessee recruiting goes, we did get 3 different recruits over last week and this week. First off, 5-star inside offensive lineman of the 2025 class, Douglas Utu, I think that's how you say his name. He has committed to Tennessee. The interior offensive lineman from Las Vegas, Nevada, is ranked as a top 10 recruit in the class of 2025 and is the number 2 overall inside offensive lineman in the country, according to the Rivals rankings. He chose Tennessee over Alabama, Michigan, Oregon, and Washington. And man, oh man, I feel like we're starting to get a really, really, really well built up offensive line. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah, the offensive line is definitely building up. I feel like this class, the coaching staff as a whole has been recruiting offensive line a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we get David Sanders. Right now, we're the favorites to land him, and I honestly think we're going to get David Sanders because I'm pretty sure Tennessee is right now working on an NIL deal with David Sanders, but they ain't able to get it done right now because David Sanders wants to basically go visit all these other schools. And
so see, some people said that they think he's going to end up at Ohio State, which I mean
he can, but I don't think he will. I think he's going to Tennessee.
Yeah, I think the 3 schools, if I remember, ain't it Tennessee, Clemson, Ohio State?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure Tennessee right now is working on a big NIL deal with David Sanders.
And then I think for the second overall tackle, it's Josh Petty, I think, out of Georgia. I think it's Florida State, Tennessee, and someone else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the third one, I don't think we're really much in on him. I think Georgia's, probably going to get him, Andrew Babaloa, I think, if I remember his name.
Right. Yeah.
Which I think Babaloa has probably got the most potential out of all of them. He's probably the biggest. Well, actually, Sanders is probably the most polished right out of the box, but Babaloa, I think, has probably got the highest ceiling.
Yeah.
My opinion, though.
Yeah, David Sanders, if we get him, he's starting right off of the gate. Like, David Sanders is that good.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. But along with that news, of course, we did get 2 other players on the defensive side of the ball for the 2025 class. Trey Poteet, a 3-star cornerback, has committed to Tennessee. He's out of Verona, Wisconsin, and is ranked as a top 50 cornerback in the class of 2025. He's also the number 4 overall player in Wisconsin, according to 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He chose Tennessee over Wisconsin, Michigan, and Florida. So there's another member of the secondary who hopefully pans out well. And along with him, Marion Dye, a 4-star edge rusher from Elkhart, Illinois, is coming to Tennessee as well. He's a top 40 player in the class of 2025 and the number 1 overall player in Indiana, according to On3 rankings. He chose Tennessee over Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan. So there you go. So the big pickups for the Vols right there.
He seemed to be an Ohio State lock for the longest time. Like, I hadn't really heard much about him. I mean,
He
I'd heard a
was.
little bit about him, but then, of course, Rodney Garner always seems to pull out one person per class usually that we really shouldn't.
I
So
think he was a 97% lock before he went to Tennessee. So that was, I think that was a big shocker for a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm very excited for our defense this year, man. Our front seven is going to be one of the best in the SEC.
yeah, I think as long as Rodney Garner's there, we're going to have one of the best defensive lines.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best coaches at Tennessee in terms of recruiting and production. Just the
Yeah.
job that he's done is far beyond what I've seen from really any other defensive line coach.
The thing is, though, I think the defense definitely will be better, but I feel like we definitely got to improve more in the secondary, keep on improving the secondary. We did improve, but that didn't really show too much because our offense regressed with Melton. So
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
of people didn't realize how much our defense had improved. But one thing we do, I think, that we do need to improve on is the linebacker play. Like, I don't know, they seemed a little bit slow last year. I think maybe some of it's because Arian Carter was kind of forced to play a lot as a freshman. But also Herring, I think. Also, I think he ended up transferring to Memphis. But he was kind of looking slow. At least, I think, what was it, Elijah Herring, the one that was looking slow, if I remember correctly?
I think so.
Was it
Yeah.
him or Arian Carter that kept on getting beat up to the edge at the Mizzou game? I can't remember.
I think it was Elijah Herring.
yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
I'm happy that he, found another place and stuff like that. That's great. I thought he was going to Colorado, if I
Yeah,
remember
it took
correctly.
him a long time to finally find somewhere.
It looked like he was going to Colorado because I remember he took a couple visits up there and then he decided on Memphis.
Right.
But yeah, it feels so weird with Tim Banks, man, because I remember our fans have a few years ago, especially in the South Carolina game, have been calling for his head. But here's the thing, though. With our defense has slowly gotten better every single year. So, I mean, you can't really get mad at Tim Banks for that.
No.
See, the original problem in the 2021, we weren't really getting much pressure. Like, we would either get pressure or we would not get any pressure. It was, kind of a flip of a coin if we would get pressure, or if we would get stuffed at the line. But then the year after, we started to, finally get pressure. And the thing was, especially, that was the first season I was talking about. 2020 was where we would hardly ever get pressure.
Yeah,
2022 we would get pressure, but we were relying on it way too much in some games, and that's kind of what burned us in the South Carolina game. And then 2023 we were great at getting pressure and stuff like that, but like I said, our offense regressed so much, so we kind of regressed as a team, but our defense was a lot better. The only thing that really, I would say, somewhat regressed on defense was the linebacker play. Like, the secondary play was better for the most part in most games.
I think there have been a few games, not just from last season, but seasons before that, where Tennessee has games where the defensive backfield is just completely out of formation and they're letting these big plays happen out of nowhere. Even when we're getting in pressure, there's always one open receiver down on the field. This happened with Kentucky last season where they let Devin Leary throw for almost how would he have, like 300 passing yards? And it was ridiculous because there'd be plays where like literally nobody in the backfield is around this guy. And the same thing happened with South Carolina. So I'm seeing, I didn't hear it much last season with the whole fire. I didn't hear it a whole lot last season, but I think there's going to be an extra set of pressure, not on Tim Banks, but on our secondaries coach, Willie Martinez.
Yeah, Willie Martinez.
He has been there as long. He's the only coach who's been there for as long as Heupel has. So I think people are really, really interested to see what he does with this brand new secondary. And if it ends up sucking just as much as it has the past 3 years, then I imagine that in my mind, it'll be GG's for
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, we originally started out, what was it? We started out as like 120th, like the first 2 seasons. Then last year we got like all the way up to, I think it was 80, somewhere in the 70s or 80s, which I mean is not good, but it's
not
better
like,
than being like some of the top 10 worst.
yeah.
So I mean, he definitely improved. The thing is, he's got to improve more now.
Yeah, especially with bringing in all these all-American defensive backs.
Exactly.
We got to see improvement, especially after this haul we picked up in the transfer portal.
Yeah, well,
at this point, there's no excuse for it. It's been 4 years now, and even though it's a brand new secondary, a lot of these guys are transfers that can easily adjust to this system.
Yeah.
If they end up going out and letting some of these quarterbacks hit up 300 yards on the secondary, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and join the trail.
Yeah. There's definitely no excuse if the secondary is bad this year because, like you just said, they're all Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were the two transfers we got at corner were freshman All-Americans. One played at Oregon State and the other played at Temple. But then we did also get another transfer at safety who was one of the best in I can't remember what.
Yeah, the guy from MTSU.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Jacoby Thomas, but I can't remember the conference that MTSU plays in. I think did they move?
USA.
Yeah,
I was about to say I thought it was Conference USA, but for some reason, I think I also remember. Are they moving conferences again?
No, I don't think they are. I haven't heard anything about that.
No,
I don't know. I thought
not this season. I think they're expanding because I know Kennesaw State's moving into.
Yeah, I know Kennesaw State and Delaware are moving to the Conference USA.
I mean, Delaware, I think, is moving to Conference USA not this year, but next year.
Yeah, they haven't moved yet, but Kennesaw State has.
It's kind of crazy because Kennesaw State's just hit his 10-year anniversary.
Well, I mean, Kennesaw State football has actually been playing pretty good, so they kind of deserve to move up.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. But the thing is, though, Kennesaw State, they didn't start their program till 2014, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so technically, Kennesaw State didn't even have a football program the last time college football was released. A college football game was released. Kind of crazy whenever you say that. But yeah, so fun fact about them, and then I'll stop with the not Wichita State, the Kennesaw State. I got them mixed up because they have kind of the same.
Wichita State football program don't exist anymore, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Not quite.
The only reason I said that is because I got them mixed up because they have the same color palette somewhat. But with Kennesaw State, I don't know if you know this, but one of the people that helped establish the program, and help get it off the ground, was actually Vince Dooley. Actually,
the more you know. Whoop-de-doo. But
yeah,
that is
I know. I thought that was a cool fun fact.
Yeah, no, that is a cool fun fact. Nobody, I didn't know that. Did you, Lucas?
No.
There you go.
Well, yeah, he was part of the what is it? I guess it would have been like the investment team or something like that. Right. He was also the one that recommended, was it Brian Bohannon, I think is who their coach is, who's been their coach every year.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ain't that something? Alrighty then. Well, I feel now it is time to go ahead and move on to some basketball talk for a little while. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? So we'll start out with the Lady Vols. Of course, not much over this last 2 weeks, but we did get another transfer, a Pittsburgh forward transfer. I'm going to probably butcher this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Rapulici Ayodele, I think I said that correctly, has committed to Tennessee. So she's a Pittsburgh forward transfer, as I previously said. She is committed to Tennessee, and this marks the 5th transfer for Kim Codwell as she enters into her first season as the head coach of Tennessee. So that is, I think she's revolutionizing our entire roster from the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that she's basically revamping the whole roster right out of the gate.
Oh yeah, no, she's already started with the moves pretty quick.
Well, if I remember, didn't she like run a very up tempo style of basketball?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, she has an offense that can score a lot of points.
Yeah, this is a big pickup for that offense.
Well, I figured that. The only reason I was asking because I remember, I think someone said she was a very offensive focused coach, which is kind of like very not really the Tennessee women's basketball way usually. So,
well, I know it probably ain't the Tennessee women's basketball way, but nowadays you need offensive minds to win championships. So,
exactly,
you got to get with the times.
Yeah, I know. I mean, heck, a lot of people say it's, well, Dawn Staley's a defensive-minded coach, but she also coaches an offense. She also gets people that are really good at offense. Aja Wilson's a perfect example.
Yeah, right. Let's see what else we got. So that's all the Lady Vols news for this week. But we do have some, of course, a little bit of men's basketball news too. This is the big headline, the only headline. So of course the 2024 NBA draft happened, and we already know some of the results of that. But the one that matters the most to me is, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers selecting Dalton Connect in the 17th pick of the NBA draft. So that is that's a big pickup for the Lakers. They also picked up Bronny James, so Dalton Connect will be working with the with the LeBrons. So that's with both the James family. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out. Of course, some of the other players have gone to their own respective, have gone to their own respective teams, and I wish them the best of luck on the way there, as well as Dalton Connect. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that?
I'm just super pissed off with the Memphis Grizzlies by taking Zach Edey instead of Dalton Connect. You better play that clip if you have it.
You mentioned that as a concern. I remember you talking about if the Grizzlies select Zach Edey, I'm going to be so mad. They know you. They know you all too well, Lucas.
Yeah, when they pick.
I was gonna say, I think the Lakers got a steal at 17, and I'm not even really being biased. I think that's a very good bargain at 17.
And I was so mad with the Grizzlies. In fact, I literally tweeted, I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm done with the Grizzlies. Whoever drafts Dalton Connect, I'm making them my new favorite team. And then the Lakers come out and draft Dalton Connect, and I'm like, God bless.
Right in the bandwagon, baby. Right in the bandwagon. Here you go. Here's the new expectation for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Foul. No, 2 fouls.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's your new life.
Yeah, I refuse to root for Zach Edey. I refuse. I'm not rooting for Zach Edey.
Dang, that's tough. That's tough. This is like when the Titans picked up Will Levis and Tennessee.
At least Will Levis has shown that he has upside. Zach Edey, he won't show nothing.
I mean, I don't know. He's got this. That is to count. That is to count for something.
The thing with Zach Edey, though, I don't really think he's going to contribute much on offense. They're probably just going to have him run screens every play for John Morant.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm done with the Grizzlies, and I'm not being a fan of the Lakers either. I refuse to be a fan of LeBron.
Dang, that's tough. That's brutal.
My new favorite NBA team is basically no one.
So you're just a fan of like Casper now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Me and Casper are buddies. We usually go down to the bar every single Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Get some booze.
Spectacular. No, are you old enough for that, man?
No.
Oh. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Hello? Yes. I'd like to report underage drinking. I hope you're not actually doing that.
Oh, wow. Thanks a lot, Squid. Thanks for snitching.
What don't you mean? Thank you, Squidtard, for being a great inspiration for me in the future. Yeah, that's what you should be saying. You're welcome.
But
by
yes,
the way.
for all these people watching, I will never drink. I've never drunken once in my life, and I plan on never doing so.
Like never drink ever, not even past 21.
Yeah,
Beep, beep, beep. That's what I think about that.
because to me, beer seems absolutely disgusting.
It'll, because I thought the same thing once I turned 21, Lucas. It'll eventually rub off on you. Once you drink a few, to me, it still tastes like not good too much, but like eventually it'll start to rub off on you, because I thought it tasted like absolute garbage when I first started drinking. And then now that I'm 22 and I've done it for a year, it's not so bad. So eventually it'll just sort of absorb into your palate and you'll get used to it. Or you could just become like me and start drinking wine coolers instead, or the White Claws. That could work too.
Or I guess probably the only beer that I'll probably drink is root beer.
Yeah, I say I'm a great inspiration, then I tell you to just support, drink a bunch of White Claws. Really, really great inspiration there,
Yeah.
Squidtard. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Telling a minor to get drunk. Great job. Great
Hey,
job.
I said after 21, buddy. Yeah, don't twist my words, otherwise that's going to get clipped. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some other news now. There isn't much in the softball and baseball world. Of course, their seasons just ended. In the case of baseball, literally their season ended literally a week ago, and as they're still celebrating that 2024 national championship. How about that? So, of course, the baseball team, they had their parade. Lucas, did you go to that?
Sadly, I wasn't able to make it.
I did.
Dang,
I did go to it though.
Ooh, you do? You did?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any photos you could share, or
Give
you
me
just-
1 second. I might could change my thing here.
Okay. You could just drop them in the Twitter, and then I can show them on the screen.
Give me 1 second. Let's see.
Yeah, if it makes it easier, you could just drop it on the Twitter, and then I will show it on
Here, give me 1 second.
your seconds up.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to find it.
Well, you're good. While you're doing that, I'll go ahead, and there is a little bit of other news, just some sort of accolades to present for today's show. So I want to go ahead and say that every sport now, of course, officially reached NCAA postseason. 11 sports out of the top 10 Tennessee sports finished top 10 nationally. We are, of course, baseball national champions. And, well, this 2023 and 2024 sports season concludes our best ever finish in the Learfield Directors Cup, finishing third out of every single program. So congratulations to the Tennessee athletics program for their contributions.
But yeah, Georgia fans will still not say we're an everything school.
Well,
But,
have you seen them?
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, freaking Aunt Lou made a video about the Tennessee baseball team about how no one cares about a baseball natty.
If you
so that's about like the best I could get. I was kind of behind. Also, I'm kind of short. So.
Oh yeah, Kavares Tears holding the national championship.
That's not Kavares Tears. That's Blake Burke, buddy.
Lucas, I'm gonna say this, Lucas, and then we'll cut back to Julio's screen. If you say you don't care about something and then proceed to upload a 10-minute video going off about how much you don't care, the reality of the situation is that you do care, and you spend all day in the you know what? You get the idea. You care.
Yeah.
You care.
That's about the best I could really get because, like I said, I'm short and I was also kind of behind a lot of people. So.
But yeah, that is Blake Burke. But
so there you go.
Top 5 Learfield gang. Yeah, let's go.
But yeah,
let's go.
Man, what's kind of funny is that I know Arkansas, they was saying how they were basically a blue blood, even though not having a national championship. But now, since we have a national championship in baseball, we're basically more of a blue blood in baseball than Arkansas is.
It was a very, very bad day for all of the Tennessee haters, because they just lost a fat majority of their ammunition. And the best part about it is they've coped. They've completely switched to a bunch of other different things. And it's kind of like how I said last week after we won the national championship. It's, there's no winning. Tennessee in football could win the next 6 national championships, and all these people come out with, well, you haven't won 7. Where's your 7th in a row, huh? Where's that at? Where you don't even have poverty program. Like, you can't win. And at some point, you just have to accept that. And the only way you can really win against these people is by not giving them the attention they crave, which Tennessee fans, including myself, are very, very bad at.
See, there's another pitcher too. Almost all the other pitchers aren't really that good, but that's from the Market Square thing.
Very nice. They still have that up there?
I don't think so. I think they just put it up there for the celebration. Like I said, I don't live in Knoxville. I had to drive 2 hours.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's going to look really good on Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I wait till that flag gets raised for the first game.
Oh, yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, yeah, but that's fun. That is very, very fun.
Yeah. We have a more recent national championship in the major 3 sports than Georgia.
Again, what can you say? What can they say? But yeah, and it's not just, of course, it isn't just them, but a lot of people are, of course, pivoting to the next sport that they're good at. It's kind of, like I said, the best thing you can do is just, act like they aren't there. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, Georgia fans, they can no longer talk trash to us about baseball. If they somehow talk trash, I'm going to be shocked because
nobody can.
Like literally nobody can.
Even we're national champions. What can they say? It's exactly what Michigan fans are saying about. You think there's anybody saying, "Oh, Michigan sucked in football last year"? No. Now, in the case of Michigan, there is a little bit of legitimacy because people are worried about it. But you cheated. What are you gonna do about that? But UConn, for example, you think anybody's going around trash talking UConn in basketball?
No. And also, random question: if you had to say the best head coaches for every single major sport in college sports, like football, basketball, women's basketball, baseball, and softball, who would you say that they were?
Okay, so college football, Kirby Smart. Yeah, Saban's retired. I hate to say it, but it's Kirby.
Yeah.
College basketball, it's Dan Hurley.
Yeah, Dan Hurley.
College baseball, right now, it's Tony Vitello. He's not the most decorated, but he's the one that's the best right now. If it's not him, if I had to pick someone other than Tony, then it would be probably Jay Johnson, because he's one with 2 different schools.
Yeah,
and he's also one of the only people keeping up with Tony recruiting wise. And then let's see. And then for women's sports, women's basketball, of course, Dawn Staley. Women's softball, softball, Patty Gasso, Oklahoma head coach. And then I'm trying to think. I think that's all of them, ain't it?
There's definitely room for debate with all those except for Dawn Staley. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I think right now Tony Vitello is the best coach in college baseball. And I know he just won his first national championship. You can say Paul Maneri has more than him, and Jay Johnson has more.
But he has as many as Paul Maneri.
Oh, really?
Paul Maneri only has 1 from what I remember, unless he won one at another school. You can check. Yeah. But I think he only has 1 at LSU.
But yeah,
the 2009.
But yeah, Tony Vitello right now is the best coach of college baseball.
But there definitely is a difference between like now and all time. Like, of course, I heard a lot of people say that like Nick Saban was like the best head coach of all time, but like right now it's somebody else. I think that example can be used for a lot of coaches in all the different sports.
Yeah,
Again, with the exception of Don Staley.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably argue on some of them. Like, I was trying to think. So, of course, best college baseball coach of all time is what's his name? Rod Dedeaux, the coach at USC. He coached what I think was 10 of their 12 national titles. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna match him. Or maybe we'll see all. Or did he win all but one? Can you check, Lucas? I can't check because I'm on my thing.
So
Yeah, I'm swimming in it, Fireball. I'm just absolutely swimming in it.
lies. me when I lie.
Yeah. Okay. Where? You know what? I'll just, for your sake, I'll just brush that one off.
Now, I will say Mike Martin is probably like the most consistent head coach, but he never won a national championship. And I'm not trying to talk trash on Florida State. That's just true.
But yeah,
don't do that. We've done enough of that.
What was you needing me to search up, Julio?
Rod Dedeaux, USC baseball. It's ROD and then DE something. I can't remember how you spell it. Just look up USC baseball and then click on one of their 1970s titles, and it should pop up who their head coach is. And then tell me how many national titles he has. Because I can't look at it whenever I'm on here because I clicked the link through Twitter. So
it says he has 11 College World Series.
Okay, so he won every one of their titles except for the 1998 one. So yeah.
How about that?
So yeah, that's the GOAT of college baseball. There's really no debate.
Just of all time.
Yeah,
probably. Can't argue with stats. Stats are stats, and that's all there is to it.
And then I think Gasso has, the most softball national championships, or pretty close. So, like I said, right now it kind of just looks like I don't think you can argue about the softball one either. But that's just my opinion. I guess we can move on to whatever's next.
Yeah, Fireball. I was just gonna say Fireball. Vitello's not leaving Tennessee. He's staying here for the long run. Like
I'm not worried about that.
The dude literally just turned down LSU, one of the best jobs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. Some people said he was offered the LSU job, and some people say he wasn't. Now, I do know that he was offered the Texas job and the A&M job, and he turned down the A&M and Texas job.
Speaking of which, can we talk about that for a second? Just how just unbelievably screwed Texas A&M fans got. Not just their fans, but their entire team. Just imagine just how devastated you had to be as a baseball player for your coach to get on and say that he'll stay at Texas A&M until he retires, and then immediately follow that up by going to your rival.
Dude, I was just gonna say, dude, literally pulled a Lane Kiffin.
That's worse. That's like if Lane Kiffin made a press conference saying that he was going to stay at Tennessee forever. Then when he said that he was going to leave, instead of saying he was going to USC, he was going to become the next head coach at Alabama.
Well, no, the equivalent would be like, say we lost to, I don't know, let's say, fucking LSU in the national championship in football or something. And let's just say Alabama had a down year. They fired their head coach. And then, they ask whoever the head coach is at Tennessee, like, hey, are you during the press conference after losing, like, "Hey, are you going to stay here?" And they'd be like, yeah, no. How dare you ask me that question?" Next day, anyway, here's the brand new Alabama head coach.
Yeah, and why did he get so mad about it if that was his intention?
Well, see, the thing is, he was he's very close with that athletic director because he was under the same athletic director at TCU, because that's where Chris used to be the athletic director at, Chris Del Conte. And I mean, Tony also was under him because if you didn't know, Tony was an assistant under Schlossnagle, which he did eventually leave and go to Arkansas. Apparently, I don't know if this is true. Apparently, Tony really does not like him. So that was one of the reasons that Texas A&M wanted to go after Tony. Was that apparently him and Sloss do not see eye to eye, because I guess because Tony's more of a coach's player, and as you can tell, I don't really think Sloss is really a coach's player.
Well, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because Tony Vitello has shown that being a coach's player.
And he's not going to Missouri. If there's
He's
anybody
no,
concerned
no,
about it, it's not
he's
Missouri.
he already turned down the Mizzou job in 2021.
Like literally, this was Tony Vitello when they offered him the job. Hello, yes, this is Missouri Athletics. We would like to offer you the head coaching job.
No, so
I'd imagine it with something like this. Hello. Yes, have a good day.
So the reason he's never going to go to Missouri, he offered to be the Missouri head coach for less than whenever they hired the Bessemer guy in 2017. Or I think it was 2017 when they hired him, the one who now coaches Jacksonville State baseball. He practically offered, like, "Hey, I'll be the head coach in Missouri. Just give me a chance." And he tried to offer it before he took the Tennessee job. And they said, "No, we're going to hire Bessemer." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then, of course, what was it, 2021? They tried to hire him because they wanted to fire Bessemer, but I think they ended up going with him until 2022.
Yeah. See, this statement right here, true facts guaranteed, because literally, why take him at his word anymore? You've lost all credibility as a coach when you get on a press conference and then just flat out lie throughout the entirety of it. Nobody's going to care or believe anything that he says anymore, and rightfully so. I don't care how good of a head coach he is. When you do that, you're just a flat out liar. So I do feel legitimately bad for A&M fans because they don't deserve to go through that crap.
Like, can you imagine being a parent of a recruit?
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to recruit your son? Like, why would I believe anything that comes out of your mouth?
No, Texas is going to end up regretting that. I legitimately feel like they're going to end up regretting doing that.
The thing is, though, Sloss was actually kind of known for choking in the postseason at TCU. And that's what people said about, Tony too before this year.
Well, without recruiting, you can forget the postseason. Like, why would any recruit? No, and this is, of course, like all over the internet. So by now, most recruits have already seen the fact that he, did a press conference talking about how he's never going to leave A&M and then immediately bounces once he gets a bigger check. No, most recruits have seen that. If he was going to tell you, hey, this would happen and this would happen and this would happen if you come to Texas, why would you believe him? What would be the point? He's already lied to everybody in the country in his press conference. What makes you think he won't lie to you?
Yeah. Speaking of A&M, can we talk about Texas A&M's Barstool account? I know, of course, the person who runs the account didn't get fired or whatever. I think he might have just gotten suspended or might have just quit the time.
You mean the A&M Barstool account, right?
Yeah. Okay. They got their account locked for talking about Sloss all the time.
I thought he got fired after that tweet he sent. And not gonna lie, if he actually got fired, he would have went out in a blaze of glory.
He did, but then they brought him back. I remember they did briefly, but then he came back the next day.
Like, yeah, I don't care. I would have tweeted the same thing.
Right. And now I really want to know about, with the Barstool thing. Everybody's going after the Barstool Texas account for being a dummy. Is it still? Did they ever change the owner of that account after what happened last year or a couple of months? It wasn't even last year. It was like half a year ago when Uga, the mascot for Georgia, passed away, and then this dumbass that runs the account made a tweet saying, not even not even a dead dog can run from Uga or whatever," and it shows that clip from the 2018 Sugar Bowl, which we already know. I want to know, does anybody know if that guy got fired?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess that would have to just be an inside Barstool thing.
Must
But-
be, because usually they, even when I'd have to imagine he had gotten fired for that, because I remember them firing Tennessee's Barstool account for being too cringe. It literally wouldn't it would surprise me so much if he actually maintained his job.
So, one last thing before I guess we move on or whatever. So like I said, they contacted Vitale about the Mizzou job in 2021, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they had Max Scherzer reach out to him because he played on the team at Mizzou whenever Scherzer was there, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's got the screenshots.
Yeah.
So they didn't fire him. Wow, that's absolute. How did he get away with that? Everyone was calling for his job. I don't see how they got away with that. I don't see how the Barstool Texas account got away with that. With him now being in the SEC, there's going to be a bit of a warrant on him for this season.
Well, whoever's running the fucking admin account now is dumb.
Yeah. Well, you see, and I hate Georgia more than any other team in the country. If you ask me the like top 5 teams I hate, it would be the number 2 would be number 6, and then 5 space 4 space 3 space 2 space 1 Georgia. I really do. But all that aside, it's a scummy move to go after a mascot that died. And the fact that the Texas admin got away with that really irritates me, because how are you going to fire a Tennessee admin for being too cringe, and then you're going to keep a guy who literally laughed?
Hey, I mean, the Tennessee one definitely was kind of a cuck.
Yeah, the new person who runs the Barstool though, he's cool. I miss when Juilo used to run the Barstool account. That was when Tennessee Barstool was at its peak.
See, I don't really pay attention to it all that much, but it is something I take into notice. I don't remember, just literally being too cringe. Was that literally the reason why the Barstool guy got fired?
Well, no, a lot of people on the Tennessee fan base was bitching at him because he kept on being a cuck for Alabama.
Yeah,
Georgia.
Yeah,
I think I remember what did him in now. I think he made after Tennessee lost to LSU in Omaha, I think he made like a tweet saying, "Go win it all, LSU," or something. It was like congratulating LSU for winning it. Yeah. I think that's what did him in. Still, though, that's far worse. I mean, that's far better than, being the guy that makes fun of an animal's death. I think that's going way too far, but
yeah.
I don't run Barstool, so they do, let them do what they want. But, I'm always going to hold that over UT or Texas Barstool's head. There is only one UT Barstool, and that's not Texas. I'll tell you that much. Speaking of which, it's important to remind everybody. On the left, that's orange. On the right, that's poop.
Yeah. Make
sure you know that.
Actually, it kind of looks more like urine after you drink too much soda.
Maybe. I think it's poop, but that's just my that's analysis.
Yeah, that's poopy brown.
Right.
Is there any other thing y'all want to talk about?
I think that's it for today's show. We really didn't have too much to talk about. It was enough for a full-fledged show. It just wasn't like, I didn't have too much to talk about. I'm going to try for the rest of the before we get into the actual college football season, I'm going to try and get some special guests on here for the shows further onwards. So if you're interested in joining an episode of the Vol-Star podcast, feel free to contact me. or anybody else over here and let us know if you want to be a part of the Vol-Star podcast for next week or any other week onward.
Yeah.
Well, great. We're going to try and have a lot of great guests on from this point onward. So if you feel like jumping into a podcast, let us know. That'd be greatly appreciated. And by the way, we do have a super chat button. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but yeah, feel free to super chat too. Great button. I personally like it. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this thing up, though?
I can't really think of anything. I guess just to go Vols, and that's it.
Wow, very well said.
I guess all I gotta say is go Vols, and Oklahoma and Texas, welcome to the SEC. You better be careful what you wish for, because I know y'all wanted to be in this conference so bad, but well, we'll see. We'll see if y'all are still happy about being in this conference later on down the road.
Yep, they sure will. Okay, then. Well, with all that being said, I think it's about time we go ahead and wrap this show up. And for future projects coming along, I'm of course working on part 4 of the Iceberg. I should hopefully get that done at the latter point of this week. Should have it dropped on Thursday or Friday, so make sure to check that out. And of course, predictions. I think I'll be starting those next week, so stick around for that when you can. All right, well, until the next show, I appreciate all of you guys for watching. And leave a like, subscribe to Squidtard Sports if you haven't already. And as always, of course, power to Tardaria. But more importantly, for this channel and this stream, go Vols, baby! And there's some of that for you.
Yeah,
some of that. Lucas, you're forgetting something.
What?
You got to do the thing. You got to mention your bros.
Oh yeah, Central Michigan
and Utah.
Oh,